Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another lovely match here, lovely evening with the Star Esports Overwatch Brawl. And we're here tonight with a match between two lovely teams. And a Runaway versus Torbulance. And this match means something because whoever loses will go home. Will not be able to play again. And that's what double elimination is all about. They've had their chance. They had their chance to lose. Now they can't do it anymore. I'm N of Class, joined by the secret, the spy-like, the 007 of casting, the Sly himself. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Honestly, whenever there's an evening I can cast Overwatch, I'm always happy. It's a little late for me. For those who don't know, I'm over there across the pond in the EU zone, so it's about 4 a.m. for me, but that doesn't matter. As long as there's Overwatch, I'm going to be energetic. I'm going to be happy about it. And we've got a beautiful match lined up here, so I don't know what we're going to see, but all I know is that it's going to be great.
Yeah, both of these teams, like you said, in the losers bracket, losers round 1 specifically, so currently 0-1. You never want to exit out of something like this 0-2. You at least want something on the board.
Exactly. Well, I mean, both of them didn't get 3-0 in their first game, so at least they've got a map win. They're not going to go out with any without any map wins, but you want to have at least that one game win, right? Because if you start a tournament like this, it's a proper tier 3 tournament. We're here to support that entire scene, and we see the top teams coming out here in the past editions of this brawl. We've seen a lot of names come through that moved on to bigger things afterwards as well. So it's always nice to see more of that coming out, more of these teams coming into the brawl and definitely showing off their skills. And you can't really show off your skills if you lose. So I hope they can continue that. Torbulance, a returning team, and a Runaway, the first time we've seen them here. A lot of players of these weren't that familiar to me, but I'm hoping to get a lot more familiar with them tonight. And maybe they continue further in the tournament, we get a lot more familiar with all of them.
Yep, just looking to see if any of them can maybe get some momentum going off of this, get used to being in the losers bracket and get that nice losers bracket run going all the way through.
Oh yeah, sometimes it can give you that energetic boost that you need. Some teams that really perform under pressure, and then they just start stomping everybody. So will it be Turbulence? Will it be NA Runaway? We don't know that yet. I mean, once again, we haven't started the game. We don't know how they match up really. And we're going to Lijiang Tower as the first map. That is definitely a map that can really show us a lot of what these teams can do, and also how set in their ways they are when it comes to the meta. Because the meta isn't quite settled, but there are some things we have been seeing a lot of.
Yep, definitely seeing DPS slots and mostly what you're looking at here, because there's a lot of that double shield, but you're looking at a Doomfist to get past the double shield, Symmetra to charge up on it. You've got the Reaper and the Pharah picks possibly as well. And like you said, Lijiang Tower allows for so many different comps because the three points themselves are all very different in what they can allow and encourage.
Yeah, and going to this first map, it's always very important which stage do you get first. It's going to be control center. It's going to be a lot of that close quarters encounter, not a lot of Pharah potential. Maybe some Symmetras, maybe some Doomfist, maybe some Reapers. You never really know with any of these teams. And before they will cut a spawn, we're never going to be sure. The only thing we're going to be sure about is that they're going to have to be in 2-2-2. The other thing I'm going to be very sure about that at least one and probably both of these teams going to be running their double shields.
I would be very surprised to see anything deviate away from the double shield.
Yeah, right.
It is just the safest way to keep that tank line healthy, get the Moira protected behind there as well. It's all about how you get past it with that DPS. So that's what I'm most interested in here. Expecting the Doomfist, especially on Control Center.
Okay. So I've been hearing some rumors here and there that Reinhardt might actually be a very viable pick in this meta because he can do so much shield damage through shields, which in a double barrier meta is pretty important. And that's also like the reason why Doomfist is so good, because he doesn't really care about shields that much. So is that something that like Lamavera has it in spawn now? Do you think that might be something they come out with?
I mean, it definitely looks like that's going to be the case. The only thing that's difficult with that is that you cannot take a prolonged fight whatever with the Reinhardt. You have to WM1 into there and make sure that you're healing and the protection with the Mei wall. You got to get a good Mei wall. This is comp going like it is.
He is out of spawn with that Reinhardt, and they're running the Doomfist May as well. And that backboard wall could work out very well in their favor. Already on the point, not choosing to take that high ground approach, but they are being a little bit cautious about this. Esul going in deep with that Doomfist, and they get the kill onto Clack as a result here. It's going to be Emerin taking the counter kill into Esul, so that's a really good one. But Lama Ver is just being pushed back, no more shield left, and they're going to have to take a little bit of a slow approach. Honor not being able to do that much with the May wall just yet, but there's the first one that coming out. Snozzler is countering that though. Lure taking down Lama Ver, no more tanks, and that's going to be the first point control going over here to the side of Torbulance.
Yeah, just a little bit of cleanups here for Torbulance, get the last people off point, and that was the thing I was just talking about. With the Reinhardt, you have to go in fast. If you just stand around there and let them burn down your shield, then you've got nothing left, and you're not going to get anything off of that, and indeed, they do swap over to the Arista.
Yeah, a nice experiment, but it didn't go to plan. They're still running the May though, and they really need to try to get some value out of that. The coalescence coming out from both sides. The beams hosing each other down. Emerin is the first to fall though. Once again, a Doomfist out of the battle early, and Snozzler gonna try to go in deep together with Esul, but they have to be a little bit cautious there because there's a lot of abilities, especially that accretion. Serafina though goes down with Lama Ver, and it does look like this is gonna be another pretty convincing fight win here for the side of Torbulance.
Yeah, it's all about those quick picks with the Doomfist, and if your Doom doesn't get anything immediately as Emerin did, the counter dive with the Reaper there is going to quickly burn you away.
Emerin going for a little bit of a sneaky movement behind them. It is not with the team right now when they're being attacked in their spawn choke. The wall comes out there as a defense, so they have a little bit more time for Emerin to maybe get in a better position here. And they're waiting out that supercharger, which is very nice. They spotted out the Doomfist in the back though, and there's the Blizzard. Will it get enough value though? Will it freeze people up? Lure is already down, but Honor gets counter killed. There's a Death Blossom. Esul and Snozzler combining for 3 together, and Snozzler gets another 2. Yes, they got some kills on the other side, but Torbulance, they're not phased by anything. They're just gonna get more and more kills and keep holding on to this point. One more fight, and the first round will be over.
Yep, that first real ult fight going into their favor as the Blizzard didn't get a huge lot. They separated out NA Runaway there, and the Death Blossom, with that separation, able to pick up those kills.
Oh, nice gravitic flux. Doesn't really get any follow-up from that. Emerin going very low. Will get finished up by Esul. And that's a good start to the fight from Torbulance here. They get a nice counter gravitic flux there. Kulak does get Noro with that, but they need a little bit more in order to stay into this, and it doesn't look like they're going to get much more because the DPS is just tearing a hole into their tanks. It's right now is Lama Ver and Clack on the point trying to get healed up by their Moira. She gets punched to the wall, and that means that everything else is just falling apart here right now. Just the Doomfist, and he can't save it on his own. First point going over here to Torbulance.
Very convincing, and that was mostly off of just doing a great job of countering Emerin's initial engages, trying to look for that pick, not able to find it, and before the Doomfist can get back out, CC him down, get the focus as well, and Emerin is going to swap off of that Doomfist, realizing it really wasn't going the way, having a very high first death rate, and go over to the Symmetra instead.
Yeah, Symmetra on this map. We've seen something. I've seen like yesterday, I think I casted a game where both teams ran the Symmetra and they both teleported up to these top windows at the point. Is that likely that that's going to happen from Emerin as well?
With this comp, you are looking to get to point as fast as possible so you can set up and not have to walk the Symmetra across the courtyard where it could be more vulnerable to, say, a Pharah that Esul is currently on. And indeed
it's
they
the
will.
Classic teleport position. Oh, Axic almost getting picked off. There was a little bit outside of that point, but they're in now. The Pharah gonna have to try different angles of approach, and the Sigma just keeping that shield in the face of the Pharah. Esul trying to really get some value here, but it's not working so far, and they're trying to crack this puzzle. They're trying to crack this way of getting in. Meanwhile, Green Havoc and Snozzler are both going very low, and there's no one to heal up Green Havoc because they're the only support on the ground. There's the barrage already from Esul, though, gets 4! How does that happen so quickly? You gotta wonder, how do you do that? And with only 9 or 10% captured here, that's just a convincing fight win, and just took their time, did it well.
Everyone from NA Runaway clumping up behind that Arista and Sigma shield, allowing for massive splash damage charge on the ult, and I don't think anyone was ready to sign Esul for that barrage so quick into the round.
It's just insane. So much damage coming out, and now they're just trying to run in against that. But that's a super good kill onto Lure there. Means that the fire will have to be very careful. A lot less healing on damage boost on the field. So Essel not going to get as quick of a barrage, but it's already up to 60%. They teleport into the point, into the middle of everything, and now they ensue chaos. Nora already down. This is a very good start to the fight after that pick onto Lure there, and it looks like they're going to clean it up. It might actually be the first proper point cap here and a fight win coming out for NA Runaway.
I feel like they could have definitely saved the Symmetra ult there. Came down when they were already about 3 up in the fight. I do like the swap over to McCree, though. As soon as McCree is actually pretty good in this double shield, and you can just swap right under it.
McCree is obviously doing a very good job here of dealing with that pharmacy, at least for now. Still getting very close to another barrage, though. Could be very impactful here together with Lure's Valkyrie, especially a lot of damage coming out from that one. But is it going to net to anything, really? Because Essel is already down. Nice stuns and damage is coming out, and Essel thought he could go in for that last hit to get the barrage. Not to be the case, and now they're going to go aggressive. NA Runaway just trying to run into the enemy here, and they get serious. They're going to get more Stranglers as well. Green Havoc and Lure will probably fall, and now looking a little bit more shaky for Torbulance here.
That really goes to show just how much attention they're paying to the Pharah after that initial barrage. Usually you only have your McCree looking for that for the flashbang, but even Axic on the Lucio looking for him and ending up getting the kill with the assistance of that flashbang.
Doesn't make a lot of sense though. Like, Lucio only has to worry about his aura. As long as the stanks are in it, you don't have to look at another way. And that's a nice teleporter set up there. Honor with the Sigma shield. This is free with that Deadeye, but it's too far away from the team. Just gets picked up by Sirius here. Askake will get back to the team, but not before Essel already takes down 2. Noro of 3rd, and Green Havoc takes down the last standing member there. I think it's only Axic there. Will not be long for this world, but they are pushing into 1-5 territory, and with the ultimates they have, could look very good for NA Runaway here.
Definitely looking good for them. They have no contesting Lucio ult for Qlax, Gravitic Flux, and also the Sim Wall to get into the point faster and make this fight happen as soon as possible. But we do have a sneaky Reaper possibly.
Yeah, sneaky Reaper play immediately paying off as well. Snozzler getting 2, Essel gets a 3rd. Doesn't matter that Snozzler goes down if the rest of his team is just cleaning up here. Honor, last one to fall. That's just a quick and clean fight.
That's the classic. We don't really have too much going for us. Let's go for the sneaky play. Hope they don't check their corners, and it pays out here for Torbulance.
It looks like they're going to go for another one here on NA Runaway. Obviously, they have to. The map's not over yet, but this will be the last fight, and they have a few ultimates to work with. The Coalescence and the Gravitic Flux could be very impactful, but they have to find the follow-up, because that ult in its own is generally not enough. Already Lamaver completely surrounded by the enemy team. A little bit of a positional error, maybe, but there is a counter kill on Essel, so they might be able to pull this back, and the Mercy is still there for both teams, so maybe some res is coming out. No! Lure just gets plucked out of the sky in that Valkyrie, so that's not only the ult, but also the res is gone. Honor is tearing a hole into the enemy team right now. Lamaver on the Wrecking Ball is back into the fight, and they have the numbers, but do they have the damage? Can they finish up the targets quick enough before the stall comes in? Because Sirius, Green Havoc, Noro, they have so much health and bodies on this point right now. Green Havoc really needs to be dealt with right now, and does happen. Noro does get Axic though, so they are trading out 1-for-1 here, but Honor not able to teleport out. It looks like it's going to be Torbulance actually cleaning this one out, and it's a 2-0 for them from the first map.
The team who didn't lose their main tank ends up winning that ending fight there. Noro just doing a great job anchoring the point, staying back in the corner with that shield, and just in the chaos couldn't have anyone go over there and take him out.
I wonder which play this will be. Of course, it's the very first fight. You already see that barrage up before the point was even captured. Just jumps in, gets the 4K.
And the halt. The halt, too, was so perfect.
Yeah. Coordination, that's what we're looking at there. There's proper team coordination, and if that happens, the target selection is okay. You know you've got the ult. It's just you trust your team to do the right thing, to distract them enough that you can just jump with the barrage and kill them all. And yes, they did win that map, but that second point was a lot less convincing than the first point. So that really sets us up for maybe a nice storyline the rest of the series, where if these DPS swaps keep happening properly, if these teams really start doing the dance of who do you pick, then it could go to a long series, this one. It might not be over after 3 maps.
No, definitely showing some real potential there. They did even have the swap onto the counter DPSs on the end there with the Pharah. Just a little bit of mispositioning from the Orisa swung that fight in the wrong direction for NA Runaway. So
Yeah.
off of that, looking better though, looking a lot better.
Looking a lot better. You know what's also looking a lot better? A Twitch channel that has a new subscriber. Thank you Vernoctil for the tier 1 sub. We really appreciate it, and we hope everyone in House's home takes the example. Says, you know what? It's September, not that expensive of a sub anymore. Why not give one to Star Esports? And you know, I wouldn't blame you. I think it's a very good cost to go for. For now, though, we're gonna go for the map bans, the map picks, looking at what's gonna happen here. What do you think is a very good map type for NA Runaway to run on? Because we saw a little bit of what they can do, a little bit of variety there. What do you think works for them?
It seems like that's a hard question because they were good at whenever they were countering the opponents. So I feel like they
Okay.
could really make any map work here, possibly. It's just they need to have a good read on what Torbulance is going to roll out on to get the advantage on that DPS countering.
Do you feel that NA Runaway has to be the more reactive team right now, or is it Torbulence that's adapting better?
I think Torbulence has to be the more reactive team because they're the ones in the driver's seat right now. NA Runaway needs to find something to beat them, so Torbulence is going to be they've got to adjust fast enough to keep their lead going, as they seem to be the better team in these straight up fights, as shown on Control Center.
We're going to see an Assault map ban, nothing that we haven't seen before. Hanamura's not going to be playable anymore for tonight. But what is going to be playable is Dorado, which is definitely getting picked here right now by NA Runaway. So Dorado, a map we could see a lot of Pharah on, but also where snipers have good sight lines so that you can be countered. We haven't seen that much hit scan other than McCree right now, so maybe that will come back into play to counter it. But it's definitely possible that we're going to see some Pharah here. Right now, they're switching sides at least. NA Runaway going to start on the defense here because Turbulence, or actually on the offense because Turbulence chose. Yep, sorry, the names weren't swapped yet. You know what?
All good.
Overwatch lobbies, we know how it works. But yeah, Turbulence starting on the defense. They obviously chose to do so right now. Yeah, I mean, starting on defense is a common thing that people do. I don't think we can really read too much into that. And I think it opens up a lot of possibilities for NA Runaway to be the reactive team and like see what does Turbulence run and then counter it straight away. We talked about how it's important that you counter, especially the DPS picks, maybe a little bit of the support depending on what's there. But yeah, that's really where the difference is being made now, it seems.
I do like this map pick from them. The more open air allows them to not be forced into kind of the Doomfist Reaper that they tried on Control Center and was very quickly shown the exit, that they just did not have what it takes to go head to head against Turbulence in that matchup.
Fair enough.
So this more open map, hopefully they can stop and when Turbulence gets their attack, hopefully they can stop them before a third point when it does get a little bit more enclosed.
To be fair, there were a little bit more factors going on there, I think. You know, obviously they had the Doomfist Reaper counter, but they were running Mei earlier on that. They had a Reinhardt, so it wasn't really a fair matchup, I'd say. But right now, I think Doomfist Reaper can only really work properly when you get to that third point. So it's still possible we see that matchup. But yeah, I agree on those first points. I doubt we'll see it. What I am excited for is potentially we could see a very forward hold. They could hold in that red door, and they don't really have to, because it doesn't really matter where you fight if you fight those double barrier matchups almost. As long as you can hold that choke in the end, you can hold very far forward if you want to.
Yeah, you can actually start, especially if you have the Lucio, start looking at maybe getting 3 fight defenses on some of these points throughout all the payload maps. And possible to do on Dorado. Haven't seen it all too much. Gibraltar seems to be the more popular one of that. But here on Dorado, I would say it's possible. With their defense holding a Widow Pharah, I don't think they're going to have the pressure to make it happen, though.
I mean, that's all. It always remains to be seen. You know, where are you really gonna go off to? What are you really gonna be able to run here? Right now, It does seem like they want to come out with his Widow Farah, but they can obviously spot and go back and spawn. Essel, though, taking a big hit right now, going very low. Just gets healed back up, but has to be a little bit more cautious now. Knows that they're not as safe in the sky as they maybe once thought. Honor gonna be trying to do a lot of sniping on that. Nice rock! How do you hit that? Essel just gets grounded by that one rock, gets another direct hit on them with the damage boosted rocket, and has to get healed back up again. But right now, Essel under a lot of pressure, and Lure as well. That pharmacy is not as safe as they once thought they were. Right now, the payload's gone through the choke, so the tanks are going to have a little bit of a face-off as well. It looks right now like the shield positioning is very good here for the offense. Meanwhile, Essel takes down Emerin into the sky, so that's going to be coming out right now, and we're seeing a little bit of a pause.
Yep, good turnaround from Essel there. It seemed like the Lure and Essel being the not being the pharmacy on the back foot, but all you need is the 2 quick shots to turn it around, and Essel going aggressive there with the right decision. Honor dropping off the high ground, so not having the appropriate sight line, and Essel taking quick advantage of that with the kill.
Yeah, and obviously as soon as you move further into that defensive territory, you're gonna have more trouble holding those sidelines as the attacking Widowmaker. And your own Farah is going to be a little bit more pressure. So that was just happening there. You need to get a little bit more closer to where you are. Right now, though, we're gonna get back into this. We're looking at not a lot of ultimates being online. Obviously, the fight's just begun. But yeah, I mean, right now the frontliners are looking very even. Just that one pick onto Emerin, which I don't think they can res up. It's a lot of slow fighting happening here right now.
Yeah, nothing much happened, especially on the ground fight when you only have the Orisa Sigma and one other maybe healer. Like, none of those 3 characters are going to be able to kill each other in a straight up fight, so you're looking for your pharmacy to add to that to try and get the damage. But if you're then ignoring the other pharmacy, do you disrespect them and don't think that they'll be able to hit the shots on you while you're looking elsewhere? It's like, it's very interesting to see where the pharmacies put their attention, and for the moment it seems like they're mostly going to be fighting each other, take them out, and then they can focus on the ground battle.
Yeah, and the ground battle, it's right now, like I said, it looking pretty even. But as soon as that one Farah is down, you're going to see Essel not focus on it, as you said. And I mean, right now, I'm looking at Clack getting rooked in the face. So I'm guessing that's properly started. Looks like we're going to get back into the action, though. Both teams, I think they're going to give us the ready here. So in a few seconds, we'll see what this fight's going to turn into, or if it's just going to be a little bit of a slow one before Emerin's back. Rockets are coming out, but they're just staying behind the choke, staying safe, just getting some poke done. Seraphina under a little bit of pressure there on that Moira, but nice. Nice suck there from Clack, just denying some of those rockets. See the Widow's trying to snipe it out, but there's not really that much sight lines they can see. There's a lot of barriers. The only thing they really hit is the fire, but Llama Vera is the first one to go down on that Orisa. That's not the one you want to lose, and Honor just follows up. Dies as well, took a nice headshot from Snozzler, and right now I think going back to spawn is maybe the right move.
Yeah, it definitely is getting a little bit too far forward there for Llama Vera, getting a little bit out of range of their fire. However, the sniping from Honor, that should be rezzed up, though. No worries about that. Onto the cooldown for the res, so a little window here for Torbulance to get something rolling.
It still gives you a little bit more of a worry. Emerin now under a lot of pressure because the Infrasight is out from Snozzler. Honor not quite there on their own, so they can't really trade it out. But Emerin now going to be pressured out by Snozzler a lot. Honor trying to grapple up there, but that's risky if you know they have the sight lines on. Infrasight's not out anymore. Essel gets them with the barrage, but doesn't get anything. Actually gets taken down for that, and I don't think the res is back up just yet. The Infrasight now comes out for Honor, so Honor will have the dominant sight lines here. Takes down Snozzler, and with both DPS down, this looks to be a very good attack here from the side of NA Runaway. There is a nice graphitic flux, but I don't think this is going to get anything. No, it's all being healed back up. Just Noro and Green Havoc there. And are they going to get another contest with the full team there? Because they have to be very careful of all Snozzler's sight lines now.
I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get another contest there. The tanks were the last ones to die, and there is no Lucio to get them back to point, so I doubt the recontest will be coming in. Lure not going to quite go down there to the hull, and that will be point A for Torbulance.
The mirror matchups are being won right now by either team, depending on which moment they are at. There's a barrage from Emerin. Will it get a lot of value? We'll see that, because they still have to be so careful about Snozler's sightlines. Honor and Snozler is going for the 1v1, and Snozler knows Honor is there, goes for the back flank, but still hasn't found it. And meanwhile, the frontline battle is just being won. Esso and Sirius already down. Yes, Snozler gets that 1v1 kill in the end, but it's just going to be 5 kills on the other side, and Snozler only gets the 2, and that's just not enough if your entire team's dead.
Emran just using the barrage there to more get it out so they're not tempted to press it later, and still ends up dying for it. The barrage without that nano is just so risky to do.
Yeah, I mean, Snozler was still there looking at them, and I don't know, maybe they just wanted to make sure that Snozler was still there. I don't know. Right now, it's going to be Honor having the high ground advantage, though. And Lure swept over to the Lucio, Essel to the Doomfist, so we are going to see that come out. But Essel already down again, has been dying a lot early in these fights. Snozler gets the kill on the Axic, though, and that's a good pick. Gets Honor too. Snozler on a tear right now. Yes, Noro falls, and I mean, they do have a good push going here, but Snozler is not gonna be able to pull this one back. If you lose your front line, it doesn't matter how many kills Snozler gets, because Clack is still there doing a lot of damage on that Sigma. Esso comes back into the Doomfist, but it's a lonely Doomfist as you just get back out there to stay safe. And Sirius, under so much pressure, will go down. Lure also very low. Yes, they get the Orisa back in there, but for how long? It doesn't seem like it's going to be very long, because just Snozler on the Tracer will not be able to push this one back for you. Green Havoc maybe trying to help out with that Moira, but I think this one's going to get cleaned up at this point. It's going to get captured here.
Once you don't have that opposing Pharah to worry about from Emran, as Essel swaps over to the Doomfist, you can fully focus on that frontline battle, and since the Doom didn't get any picks, you are going to win that fairly easily, and indeed they do, rolling all the way on to point 3, having a Barrage and a Gravitic Flux, along with the Bongos.
That could be a lot of interesting combinations made. The support roles being very close as well. They switch Honor over to the McCree. A little bit more close range. Emran already down, though the Snozler was maybe going for a flank barrage just to throw it out there, because that power is not going to be that interesting inside anyways. But they still tried for a little bit. Maybe they're going to try for a little bit more. Right now, though, they're being pushed back outside. Snozler going for a little bit of that flank shot on the high ground. A little bit of a quiet fight right now.
Really gotta wonder how much value that barrage is gonna get out. Maybe here with the Gravitic Flux follow up for the more damage.
They do follow it up. They do get killed out of it, but the kills are there because the damage follow up is so good here. They are using quite a lot of ultimates, and I don't think they're gonna be happy about that, because look at that ultimate bank of the defense.
Yeah, they will get it pushing a little bit farther, and they do have enough time to get another round of ultimates if they do stop here, so it's not terrible to make sure they win the fight. And they do have to get back in here for the defense, and we'll see how it goes.
A lot of interesting shield positions coming out from Clack, helping the DPS out, but Clack will follow themselves to that Gravitic Flux follow-up. Emran going down very low as well will be taken out, and it looks like the defense is going to hold for a little bit here, but still 2 minutes to go, so not too much to worry about yet.
I would look at maybe swapping Mercy here. I don't getting a very, I don't know how that kill happened.
I mean, I know they chased down Honor outside. They thought he could maybe get some value, and then through the doorway, which is the flash right click, and then the Moira can't get away in time. That's just how that works. But right now, they're going to push back in. No healing, obviously, almost. It's only a Lucio. Yes, they have the sound barrier, but they're not going to choose to use it. The Deadeye zones them out even further back. Their shield's going to go down again, so Noro doesn't have that shield right now. Is losing the Orisa battle. Lamaver is under a little bit of pressure here, and Snozler does take them down on the McCree. Green Havoc is taken down again. Not a lot of value out of that Moira right now. Snozler, though, is on a tear once again. Now on that McCree, not on the Widow, and just gets pick after pick. Just cleans it up. I think he got like 5 kills in that fight. Only Noro gets 1.
Good high noon usage from Snozler there. Isolates the opposing Orisa, gets that kill, and then once the Orisa's dead, you've got your free reign on that McCree. No more Orisa's shield to block all your left clicks.
Yeah, it's going to go into last push territory with the speed of their pushes. Hasn't been that fast. Right now, Seraphina has the Coalescence, so they're getting closer to their tank ultimates. They got to get some value out of those, especially with that sound barrier on the other side. That's going to be rough. And Clack already down. Nice kill from Essel. Emran falling as well. Essel is popping off right now, getting the fists really in those fights. And, you know, sometimes you got to get down and dirty, and Essel knows how to do it. Gets another one. They're cleaning this one up, and with 20 seconds left, this is going to be a last-ditch effort here coming out from NA Runaway to maybe try and finish this map.
They don't even have the Lucio at the moment to help them get back to point, so possibly a little forward hold here with the Doomfist, the Moira as well. They don't have the Reaper ult to help zone, but the payload has rolled so far back that they will be able to get to here in time, I believe.
Black under a bit of pressure. Emerin will touch, will go down. Didn't get the Meteor Strike out in time. That's what they're going for. Axic and Clack already down as well. This last push didn't even start. It was over before it even begun. Lamaver, last one to go down. And it looks like this is going to be the last point hold here for the side of Torbulance. So NA Runaway got far, but just not far enough. And we see that Reaper Doomfist play coming back in that last point. Kind of what we were talking about before. That's not the best matchup for NA Runaway.
No, able to cap those first 2 points, but yeah, once again, thinking that more closed-in area, not something they're preferring, and do get stopped there. And we'll have to see if they can convert that more open space on these first 2 points for a hold before it gets to something they're not super comfortable on.
No, and if you're looking at NA Runaway now, do you think they're going to change anything up for their defense, or are they going to use the same thing that was used on point A and B for Turbulence as well, where they just run that Pharah Widowmaker with the Mercy and the Moira? Because you were talking earlier about that Lucio being absent because you run that pharmacy. Is that really a big deal, or does it really? Is it worth it, basically?
If you're running the Pharah, it's definitely worth it to have the Mercy over the Lucio, especially since there's such a big choke here that the tanks don't really need speed boost to get from point to point. They sit in there, be safe. Not quite picking the rest of their comp, really thinking about this. That gonna have another pause, possibly it looks like, but offense, I really doubt this is what they're rolling out on.
Yeah, it could happen, but I think the Brigitte and the Zenyatta combo is maybe a little bit low on the healing side. But we've seen them run the Doofus Reaper in very good succession. So I doubt that they. I mean, it's possible they will. This Reaper's mobility has drastically increased for the defense, though. Right now, we can already see they're working up the courage to play that Symmetra again. Emerin now on that, Seraphina on the Moira, Honor on the Widow, and they really don't have time to go back and spawn and swap again. So this is likely what they'll run. No Pharah though, so that's a big change in what they did on attack.
The Symmetra is interesting.
Yeah.
Looking more to really pull them up at the choke, I would assume, with that, and get the Symmetra charged up in there. But I don't exactly know how the Widow fits in with that.
I think the Widow is just there for a potential Pharah attack, right? Like the Symmetra itself and everything else on their comp can't really do anything against it.
I mean, that should
That's
be
probably.
I feel like that should be a fairly quick swap from the defense. It seems to be trying to counter comp the offense, but as the defense, that's not really something you can do. You're looking for a more stable comp, so I'm interested to see how this goes.
Honor did do okay in the Widowmaker, and as long as there's no counter Widowmaker, they should have free reign from at least a range perspective. Turrets are set up in the choke, so like you said, they're probably looking to hold strong there, and there's no fire on the offense. Everything has to sort of go through that choke, maybe on a flank, and that means there's going to be a lot of value from this Symmetra, a lot of value from this Widow, where he gets a pick on the Essel. Amazing shot there from Honor, not even a headshot needed because the damage was there. Snozler going down as well, and without that DPS, you're not getting through this choke, so just go back to spawn, and they're not even going to let them. Oh no, they are. They're not going that deep.
Yeah, but you just get a little bit more charge off of your ults there. Get to the very important ones. Oh,
that's not the one you wanted to
choke a little bit too long. That's not great.
Yeah. Essel gets that pick onto the Moira. There is a little bit of space to work with, and they are charging up to their ultimates pretty quickly. Nora going very low, but does manage to stay alive and get healed up. Essel going in deep with that Doomfist again, but doesn't really find anything just yet. Snoz, they're trying to follow up though, and together with Essel, they get the double kill, looking like a very, very good point A attack here, and in a pretty much a faster time as well than NA Runaway did.
Yeah, NA Runaway having that fight that you keep losing while you're retreating means that they're going to have no hope of a second point defense there, as they did trying to win the 5v6. Not for them, though, and see how well they can stabilize as Essel is looking for some opening picks.
Now, Honor going over to the McCree now. I think that's mostly to do with whenever Essel jumps in, they just want to flash him and kill him straight away. You don't really need the Widow for anything on their composition, so that's a nice adaptation. Chasing the Reaper of Snozler down, and we'll almost get that kill. It's Clack that finishes it off. That would have been so... You would have been heartbroken if they got away from you there. You flash him, get the headshot, and then they live on 10 HP. You would not be happy about yourself. So that's at least a confidence booster, or at least not a confidence breaker for Honor there. Going through the high ground now, gets taken out, but Essel as well. So it's 2 DPS down and 1 on the other side. Noro falling as well. Has been falling a lot on this Orisa right now. Not going to be a quick attack here. They have to wait for a bit, go back to spawn.
Swapping over to the farmer scene now as well, so having a lot of different sources of danger, as it were, as the McCree flash. You got the fire to worry about as well. A lot of different places to look now if you're Torbulance on this attack.
Defensive Pharah is best Pharah because you don't have to take the aggressive angles. You can just spam it where they come from. Meteor Strike gets clacked though. That's not the one you wanted to lose, especially if Lama Vera also goes down. No more tanks. No more, well, not a lot of healing left when Serafina also goes down. And they lost that ground battle so handedly.
Yeah, once you don't have that defensive support ult, it really comes into how is it possible that we can even win these fights now when they have the beat and they even have the gravitic flux as well. Using both of those, I don't see how you ever win that fight if you're in a runaway.
Yeah, I mean, they got another chance to defend here, but they really don't have that many angles of approach here. Going through the main, Honor does get lure already, but the Coalescence doing a lot of damage. Serafina managing to live there. No, Serafina, Emerin, Clack all going down. Graphitic Flux doing a lot of damage, but it's still sort of even, especially with Snozzler going down. But Lama Ver, it's only Honor on the point. And who are you going to get with that? Well, it looks like it's going to be no one. We'll have the Deadeye, but 4.5 minutes for not even completing C? That's a lot of time.
That's a whole lot of time, and as we've been talking about, this is now where they feel more comfortable in this enclosed space compared to NA Runaway, so this is going to be a heck of a hold here from NA if they want to be able to win this map.
Yeah, obviously though, you don't want to go down 2-0 in the series. That's not a good start for the reverse sweep that you then will need to get. Right now, though, it's looking like a good start to their defense. They at least threaten Snozzler out, has to go back to the team to get some healing. Clack under a little bit of pressure has that going on right now. A High Noon blocked up by the shield. The shield gets broken with it. And then the other one as well. So only Emerin going down here, though. There's a lot of abilities being used, a lot of damage going out. Snozzler is just running over Clack as well. Serafina gets the kill onto Lure, so no Lucio left, no speed boost left. But it doesn't really matter if Snozzler just teleports into your backline, goes into your spawn. You can't really fight as a team. They're just being split up by this Reaper and this Doomfist and killed. Just taken out one by one. The payload is almost there. It looks like this is going to be a completion with 3 minutes 15 left as well. I mean, that's not even close as to all they almost held it. They just didn't have a chance there.
Not at all. And you did mention the fight was going pretty well for them to start. That you look at the health bars, most of NA Runaway at full, while much of Torbulance was around 30%, but just not able to close out any of those kills. The healing comes in. You've already used your cooldowns to try to get the kills, and then the fight swings back in their favor.
Yeah, I saw a good play of the game coming out there from Serafina, at least showing up a little bit on that Coalescence, doing a lot of damage and healing at the same time. It's easy to get play of the game, but it's still, you need to press the button at the right time, and that was definitely the right time to press that button. Unfortunately, could win the map, so they're now 2-0 down in the series. I don't know. I think it's looking very good for Torbulance. There is still a chance, obviously, that NA Runaway pulls it back, but right now it does look like Torbulance has that slight edge. They're just have that little bit of a step up, and it's not necessarily a meta thing. I think there's more going on there, and even though there is some issues maybe happening in their front line, there's just bigger gaps in NA Runaways compositions or a team, it seems.
Yeah, the coordination just definitely seems to be there for Torbulance, as demonstrated when you do get to the mirror, just being able to edge out all those fights against NA Runaway. So definitely looking for something more chaotic from NA Runaway, something to really test Torbulance coordination. And looking at the maps left, I think Watchpoint is probably their best shot.
But they can't pick it because we just had an escort.
Yeah, I mean, you just went to the
that
escort.
30-second same map type. So
got it.
Could you do something on a map where you can just teleport in with the Symmetra and just cause chaos that way? Because that seemed to work for them on Night Market. where they just teleported into the point and won. Yeah, sure, they got that opening pick on the Essel before that, but that still was a very nice move where they just teleported in, and that in itself already creates a lot of chaos. So maybe there's something they can do there. Hanamura isn't there, which would be a good Symmetra map, but maybe on some hybrid maps it could be done.
Torbulance continuing their tirade against the 2 CPs, banning out Anubis.
Understandable.
So only gonna leave Volskaya there, but I doubt Runaway's interested in that. Definitely looking at one of the costs, or maybe Hollywood would be something similar to Dorado, but you just lost there. So
Could be
there's
Busan,
not
it seems.
a lot of good options. Will be Busan.
Yeah, we've seen Bastion Symmetra strats being run on Busan already. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. So it's possible that this is going to be something interesting with something like a Symmetra. But then again, there's also opportunity depending on which map, like the specific stage you go to on Busan, for a lot of different DPS. Doomfist still pretty good. Reaper's still good. May is always playable, it seems. I really don't know where this one is going to go, but I'm guessing Busan is going to be more interesting to watch than most of what Lijiang would have looked like. So we're in for a treat, I feel.
Possibly. It does some of these points do allow for some interesting cheese, as they do lend themselves more to that. Lijiang's much more of straight up fights. We'll be starting on mecha base here, and I feel like out of all of them, this is probably the most similar to Control Center, so not looking good for NA Runaway right off the bat.
They're not only going to have to reverse sweep the series, they're probably going to have to reverse sweep this map after a first point loss. But then again, it's not always a guarantee for the future if you won that Control Center. That mecha base is going to be the same. Maybe those walls that come up every 10 or every 15 seconds might sow some extra chaos that NA Runaway desperately needs. Right now, though, we're going to be seeing what they're going to come out in from spawn pretty soon, and we'll see. We'll see if it helps them or not.
Looking at... I do think they need the wackiness of the May here. I do like that pick. I don't know what their other DPS is going to be. I highly doubt it's the Widow. Meanwhile, Torbulance hovering Zarya, I'm doubtful that's going to stick.
It's possible. We've seen Zarya do a lot of damage. She is still buffed. No, series is going to go back over a bit. Honor sticking on the Widowmaker, it seems. And with the linear attack that we see coming out a lot here, it's very possible that Honor might be able to get some flank shots off. Is already looking for it. Didn't hit the first one, but it will have an angle for the next one. But there's a Sigma shield just in the way. Really going to shoot if that's there. Emerin already down a nice punch of Essel. And right now, we're just looking at a very good start here for the side of Torbulance. Get another 2. Yes, Snozzler went down. Honor did find that 1 pick, but they lost 3 on their side, and they run away, going back to spawn. It looks like Honor might be swapping off. Yes, goes over to the McCree.
With that Widow, you're looking for something immediately. If the opposing team just runs straight into yours, you need that. You need that pick right now, because you're not contributing anything else to the fight, and they do win that off of just running straight in.
Essel already under the pressure. Snozzler manages to bait out the flash with the Wraith form, so that means Essel can also go in for almost for free now. Not choosing to do so just yet, but will now get that first punch up. Gets the knock as well, but no one down, and they're just actually losing a lot of health here on the side of Torbulance. 3 down already, that's 4, and they just weren't able to heal everything back up. Clack and Honor showing up in that kill feed, and Green Havoc not able to be long for this world.
That initial halt brought in so much damage against Torbulance. I believe that was 5 people on that halt from Llama, and just as the May came in, started freezing everybody as well, forced out a ton of cooldowns off of that, and was able to win the fight off of that.
Letting them come in a little bit for free. Honor trying to maybe check the flank. Now has to hurry back over to the main fight because the wall is out. So is the Deadeye. And with that, the combo. It is a nice graphitic flux followed by a high noon. 3 down already, and I don't think you're going to get anything better than that. Using 3 ultimates, though, maybe not the most ult-efficient fight, but it's definitely one they won.
Yep, definitely not the most ult-efficient, as we now are going to have 4 coming up on the side of NA Runaway, while they Torbulance, NA Runaway will have the 2 support ults to combat, and maybe a May freeze to stop any of this momentum.
Blizzard seems to be charging up quickly. Essel already down to Honor. Honor taking down Snozler as well. You don't need ultimates if you've got a McCree that is just killing everything. Black and Axic following up as well. It looks like this fight is over quick.
Over very quick, but fortunately for Torbulance, not using a ton of ults there, just the supercharger. So we'll still have the Graphitics Flux and Beat to come in here along with the DPS ults coming up as well.
Yeah, Honor closing in on another Deadeye though. They have Axic Sound Barrier as well. They're going to take a different angle of approach, but that's a huge Blizzard coming out. I don't think everyone will be able to get out of that scot-free. And no, it's actually going to be in the tunnel underneath where Emerin is trying to fight the Doomfist. Meanwhile, on the point though, Essel and Snozler is taking down everything. Clack will find the counter kill. It looks like with all these ultimates, they're finally able to get that point flip back. They are in one fight territory though, so they cannot afford any mistakes on Mecha Base right now.
That Mei ult did so much zoning, but most of NA Runaway focused on trying to kill Essel getting the kills despite all that, and there was only Lamavere trying to follow up on the Blizzard damage, and that was just not enough.
Oh, Lure gets caught out early. Emerin as well falls though, and now there's a Graphitic Flux. We'll get two in the ult in the found, but both Graphitic Fluxes came out, which means that's another high noon combo. Gets two. Bam, bam, thank you, man. That's going to be a cleanup, and it's only going to be Lure that will probably be able to make it. I don't think anyone, maybe Essel, but Lure just gets caught out. Essel now going to try to come in, but they don't make it to the point. A huge boop from Axic prevents that. And that is completely the opposite result that we may have expected.
We're gonna eat our words on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I was the one that really went for it. I really said this was gonna be the one they lost, so I'll take the fall for that one. You were just making, you know, analytical comments. I just said they were gonna lose. For now, though, going over to downtown, it's like the complete opposite of what that last map was. There's some high ground in there, but there's definitely a very big open space. A little bit of cover left, though.
A little bit. I'm not too sure about this Tracer. I would like to stay, get back on the McCree. This was working wonders for them, having that Gravitic Flux High Noon combo, winning 2 fights for them on the back half of that map. So looking good for them on this comp. Maybe find something that's finally working for them.
And such a logical combination of ultimates as well. Honor still on the McCree, like you said. Snozler on the Widow, though. Has been showing up on Dorado, maybe shows up here again. Essel already going very aggressive, almost pulls someone off the map with that fist. Right now, though, is not really able to get much done, and Honor actually taking down the opposing Widowmaker. Essel going a little bit low, but manages to get out alive. But with that Widow, they're just free reign. They can walk around the map everywhere they want. Green Havoc falling, Noro going down. Looks like this first point is definitely going into the favor of NA Runaway, and they found new life.
Good positioning around that Widow. Honor eventually ends up out sniping the Widow as well, and that is going to force the swap onto the Reaper. And a Pharmacy as well. That's a little interesting into McCree. And we'll see how that goes.
I mean, we've seen the Doomfist value decrease, so I guess that makes sense. But the Pharmacy against Honor's McCree right now, he's on fire. You don't want to challenge that, I feel like. But right now, they're going to do it anyways. Essel is just going to get a little bit of poke off, trying to get some done. Make sure they're not on the high ground, and they're just dropping all the points. So this is going to be a point fight, shield v shield. Well, double shield versus double shield, really. Coalescence coming out already. Clack taking down Noro, first to fall again. And this is once again a very quick fight with only one ultimate used.
Yep, that Coalescence to keep the tempo going. When it's the only ult in the fight, Coalescence very good. Lots of healing, lots of damage to follow up on through the double shields, and able to get that one done, and already up to 50%.
50%. It's just, I mean, Green Havoc will have the Coalescence now, so they might be able to do the other side of it. But we've got Honor with the Deadeye. We got Emerin with the Blizzard. Axic almost at that sound barrier. The High Noon does come out, but doesn't zone the Pharmacy enough. Doesn't even touch a little bit of damage on them. So Essel now above the point in a very good position. Honor completely zoned out here, has to run away from Snozler as well. And right now, if this looks like NA Runaway is a little bit of a corner, they still have the point though, and any extra percent will count to them. They're almost at 1 fight territory already. Clack does get Essel somehow as that Sigma, and right now, I don't know if the res can come in here. Sirius does take down Clack as a result, but Lore also falling, so no more healing for anyone. No more reses for anybody. And it looks like they're just winning this fight outright. The Coalescence is there. Sirius on no HP left with 2% going. I don't think anyone can touch. Essel barely makes it there together with Green Havoc, but Honor is just there. Takes them out. Looks like this is going to be a map that NA Runaway wins.
100-0.
That
this
as well.
May McCree answer all the time.
Let's see this one. It's gonna be one of those combos, right?
Which combo? No,
it's not. No, it's just clean kills onto Noro and Green Havoc. Snozzler falling as well with that one. It is just the cleanup on that last point fight.
Wow,
nicely done. I mean, they were good shots. Don't get me wrong, but I was expecting one of those gravitic fluxes and the high noon combos. That would have been a nice one. Do we have a name for that already, or are we just gonna call it like it is, just the old combo? Because I don't have to. Get
I feel like it should be something with clay shooting.
I mean,
along those lines.
We could call it the higher noon because they're like it's not just high noon, but they're also in the air.
Oh gosh, I hate that.
I mean, I don't think I like it, but that's the first thing. It's the first thing I think of. Come on.
And I know you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I still hate it.
Yeah, I mean we can't call it Electric Cowboy because it's already there. I don't know, man. Like it's just there. It's just there.
I'm just always gonna call the McCree is skeet shooting at that point.
Yeah, that way it's really what's happening. It doesn't have to. It's really like, yeah, exactly. It's like pull, and then they go up in the air, and then he shoots. Yep. That's yeah. Clay pigeon shooting. Yeah, that's a nice analogy. I like it. Yeah. But yeah, and I Runaway won a map, so we're now 2-1 in this series. They can go for that reverse sweep, and it's possible. I mean, if it goes on anything like that map we just saw, there's a very good chance it happens. That being said, though, they're banning out King's Row, so no Doomfist Reaper on that one. The close encounters.
I do like that ban from them. That's the most the most enclosed of any of the hybrids here. So going to Eichenwald instead, first point and third point, a little bit more enclosed. The first point is kind of borderline, but we'll see how NA Runaway adapts here with the McCree May, and I doubt they're going to be swapping off of that, as that has been their bright beacon of success right now.
And it really works well on point A and point C, but in that street space, it could suffer a little bit. So we'll see, obviously, if they get there, because if NA Runaway doesn't even capture the first point, we'll never get to the street space. But they're going to have to be able to do that at least. I think they might be able to start on defense. They still have to pick their side, obviously. But NA Runaway, they're showing up. They're doing their thing. They found a combination of heroes that works against basically everything that Torbulance wants to throw at them. Because the Doomfist is not able to really jump in anymore because he either gets frozen or stunned up. The Reaper, similar story. You're not going to be able to flank as easily because there's going to be a May or a McCree in your face. A Pharah has to always watch out for those McCree shots. What else did they run? I mean, the Widowmaker didn't really get that much value. Might get more value on Eichenwald if they want to run it. But they really don't have a DPS matchup unless they mirror that really seems to be working for them on Turbulence's side right now. And that's kind of worrying for me.
So what you're saying here is that the May McCree is the ideal DPS comp right now? Because you basically named out all the DPS heroes. You did miss Symmetra.
Yeah. Then again, what's Symmetra gonna do against it?
Just fight a prolonged fight and get the damage up and win the shield war?
Maybe. It could be possible. But then, couldn't they just... maybe they can use the wall and then just run through the shields, though. Like, there's always these options where you think, like, yeah, theoretically speaking... But right now, in practice, it just seems like they're doing a good job with that May McCree.
Oh, I do... I doubt they're going to do that, but... You could also look at a Bastion, possibly, to beat the May McCree.
Bastion's still a little bit of subject to that ult combo, though.
It is subject to the ult combo, but you're not going to have a whole lot of that unless you do have the Lucio beat, because you're not going to have any shields protect against that unless the Sigma is somehow positioned to block everyone in the huge prophetic flux, which I doubt is going to happen. So only looking for the beat for that.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely. I do possibly like the idea of a Bastion Symmetra, though. Won't be the case here. On offense, going to be running that Pharah Doomfist, so looking for the early picks from the Doom and just the constant pressure from the Pharah.
They still have the opportunity to come with spawn and see it and swap, so we're not
Yep.
exactly
True,
sure.
true.
But the defense, they're setting up with the McCree May, and surprise,
Yep.
surprise that they're doing that. And I run away now on the defense again, so not in the red anymore. In case anyone gets confused by that, I sure won't. And right now, but like we said, it's been working for them. So the ball is really in the court of Torbulance, trying to find an answer to it.
Series just got very interesting all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
all of a sudden.
These aren't heroes. No? There we go. All right. Swapping back to the Doomfist Pharahs. Didn't quite work on Busan. Maybe have a little bit more success here on the different geometry of Eichenwald A.
Yeah, you can have a little bit of a longer range engage. You can use the buildings for cover. The tower is great. Nice rock from Clack. Has been hitting actually quite a few of those already tonight. And we always think like, oh, that's just something that you see in Overwatch League. No, no, no. These guys are also pretty good at this game already. That new hero. So right now, shields are just getting broken, shields are getting spammed down, and Essel gets the first kill on the Axig, but Honor pulls it back onto Lure, so both losing a healer, and Clack gets another one of the Snozzler. The Doomfist not getting out alive, and Essel will not be long for this world either. So first fight, handedly going over into the favor of NA Runaway, it seems.
Torbulance looked like they had something going here. Essel playing the tower here very well, hiding from Honor, but couldn't hide quite long enough as the kid did finally find the proper angle to take down that Pharmacy.
Nah, Essel gonna try again. Obviously, you're not gonna give up, but it's very close to that barrage already. You have to watch out for that. I don't know if they know that Essel has it already on the defense. So, Seraphina, Honor, Emerin, all going to be looking into that sky a little bit, can all reach that Pharah if she gets close enough. And right now, it just seems like a very high tower push here coming out from Essel, and everyone else is being able to run around it. The choke is being cleared, Noro going very low, but gets healed up again. I think the wall is good, very well placed though, but Essel gets the main source of healing. Seraphina is down, Lamaver will not be long to follow after, and Honor doesn't even get the high noon up. You didn't even hear him say anything, and it was already down. Good attack here.
Very, very good attack. That Maywall not doing a whole lot from Emerin. It did wall off a couple members, but just not able to capitalize on that despite Noro going a little bit low. So taking it on the second attack, not too bad at all here for Torbulance.
Yeah, you kind of want to have some follow-up on that Maywall positioning. Honor going over to the Widow now. A lot longer sight lines, and that Pharah will not be able to go over buildings at all. Such a hard time to do that. We'll have the barrage still, though, so they're choosing to stick on it for a little bit, though. Clack under a little bit of pressure, but we'll just be able to negate most damage coming in. There is the barrage, though. Gets Emerin, gets Lamaver, and I don't think that Widow is going to be able to do anything about that. Seraphina does get Essel in the end, but without anything else, Honor just going to fall to that Meteor Strike. Axic, let's get out alive, though.
Essel playing that ground Pharah for a little bit there, dodging the bullets of Honor and just ulting the barrage from the safety of his own team, with the Bongo getting lots of damage in there and winning that fight very quickly.
Yeah, we're now looking for Essel to do even more of that damage, already blocking out a lot of damage from the high ground, but that Sigma shield's there, and Honor just takes him down, back on the McCree, Pharmacy out of the sky, and it looks like they just want to get back into spawn.
Oh no.
Snozzler, though, going for that cheeky pick, and the res has to be used from Axic, but I think you're going to be more hurting losing that Doomfist than Honor dying and losing the res there.
Yep, res cooldown not terribly long, so by the time this next fight happens, definitely will be up in time. Swapping over to the Pharah as well now for Emerin to also get that additional source of damage here. Trying to get the initial kills on the Pharmacy doesn't quite work, and now the ground game winning for the moment, but the Graphitic Flux.
Graphitic Flux, it's good, it gets one, and Honor takes down Essel in the meantime as well. I don't think that can be rezzed up, and Honor just jumps in there, gets the kill in the Green Havoc. Yes, the res comes out in Sirius, but Sirius is going to be in serious trouble here. Snozzler, I mean, yeah, you're on the McCree, but Honor is just doing a better job right now and has that high ground to work with, so it's not surprising whatsoever.
Not a fine Essel swapping over to the Doomfist now, get over to the Lucio as well, so you have a little bit more mobility to dodge this far and get into the ground battle all that much quicker, and get the Doomfist in there and look for that opening pick, so you don't have to deal with this constant damage threat from the McCree and Pharah. Win these fights quickly and convincingly.
Yeah, they're on the high ground now. They're trying to take that one over, but they're just being pulled aside and to different places. And there's just so many different angles of attack they have to worry about. Right now, Serafina jumps away. Honor is in a little bit of an odd position, though. He gets caught out, but Emerin comes in with the barrage, gets 2. Both supports down. Noro falling as well. And even though they get some counter kills, it's not going to be enough because if you don't have healers, you're not going to have any health. If you don't have any health, you're not going to be alive for long. So Essel will just be able to... Will he be able to get away? I don't think so. Nah.
Not quite. Would have really liked to get away there, as the offensive spawn's definitely in advantage state for Torbulance right now, but that late kill onto Doomfist means that NA Runaway will be able to get the Orisa back in here in time, get the main tanks here, and set back up for this defense on the high ground.
The high ground defense is really just... It's so strong right now that McCree just gets to shoot down, gets Snozzler as well. It's not looking good right now here for the side of Torbulence. They're really trying, but the High Noon just comes down, takes out Noro. That fortify will not save the Orisa, and they might just even walk into spawn right now. It's just they're so dominant in their positioning, and they even have a lot of ultimates to work with as well.
Essel just can't find anybody right now with this Doomfist. Everyone has a way to counteract him on the side of NA Runaway, except maybe the Sigma, but even then you're going to be in a very dangerous situation if you're going for the Sigma on the Doomfist.
Still the high ground is falling back to it every single time because they got the luxury of using it. Noro uses the superchargers, but it was being countered by Lama Veres. So it's just a mirror fight right now. The High Noon from Stalzer is ready, but the life is not going to allow him to use it because it's just gone. Galak does get taken out, and there is a little bit of a numbers advantage. Nice meteor strike coming in from Essel, and they seem to have found their stride a little bit back on that Doomfist, and they're not able to deal with it as well as they were before.
Emerin getting a little bit aggressive there, trying to take out the supercharger as the Pharah gets a little too low to the ground and a little bit too far forward, and the fight kind of tumbles out from there. See how well this stall comes out on this final fight. They do have the Gravitic Flux for possibly a C9. No.
Nice. High Noon comes out as well with that. Emerin and Snalls are trading out each other. Lama Ver going down as well on the defense. So Essel now pulling it up, but Honor gets another flank. High Noon. The point will almost be kept. It's not quite there yet. Honor has the chance to keep saving this, but that's a Graphitic Flux coming in, and that's a Sigma 9 as we call it now. The S9 is there, and you just can't... I mean, if you're in the air, you can't touch the card, and that's basically what happened there, unfortunately. But right now, looking like at least they got the second point, but not a lot of time to work with on third.
However, both teams using all their ults in that final fight there, so this next one won't have a whole lot. Essel will have the Doomfist ult if he gets enough damage in here to maybe get some momentum rolling on that. Snozzler swapping over. We have a Junkrat from Emerin, though.
Yeah, Emerin is jumping in there with that rat, trying to do a lot of damage on that one, and they will get the kill onto Essel. Axig will be traded, and Honor goes down. That's the one you really wanted. Honor's been doing so much work, and without Honor there, who are you really going to be able to kill? I mean, Clack is trying to beam down by the Symmetra ultimate, sorry, the Moira ultimate. Will go down in the end together with Emerin. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold on here at all. This point will just get capped here. And even with time in the bank, that's disastrous.
That's amazing almost. That Torbulance captured with time in the bank left after how well that point B defense went for NA Runaway.
Yeah. That being said, though, NA Runaway, after that point A capture, they did. They have to be really happy with their point B defense, because that might actually just solve everything it might decide everything for them, where they can now just capture that entire map with time left and just have a dominant time bank. It's very much possible.
It is possible, but you make it sound so easy. Just capture
the whole map
with a whole lot of time bank left.
Exactly.
And do that.
Yeah. I mean, that happens in ranked as well, right? You just say to your team, come on guys, we're gonna win this, and if they all say yes, then you win. So it's not that hard. You just win. Yeah.
I've been doing ranked wrong this whole time. Anyway, I don't think they'll run the Mei here on the offense. I would see them very hard to get anything done with that. Not gonna run the Bastion on the defense. I'm a little sad, but first time seeing Anna. No,
Maybe map
not
5, and then we can
maybe
see
map 5.
we
The
see it
Bastion.
somewhere else or on the end of the map. It's all possible.
You've heard of overtime Bastion and ranked. How about
Yeah,
map
exactly.
5 Bastion? There we go.
I mean, right now though, looking like the defense is gonna run with that Fire McCree as well. Immediately, the spawn rockets obviously coming in here from Essel, and they're not really being blocked out by the Sigma. Oh, there they are. There's the Sigma shield blocking out that spawn damage. It's a nice addition to the game if you can just do that. No more spawn spam. And now though, Shield Wars coming out here, and the attackers, I mean, they're trying to get in here, NA Runaway. And Emerin gets Snozzler. That's a pick you really want to get. No more res. Essel goes down as a result because the Mercy isn't there, and that means you're 1 DPS up and a res that they can't use anymore in the defense. Knight advance, Clack and Lama Verde just run in there, trying to get the last Stranglers. Noro going down, Green Havoc and Lure trying to get away, but I don't think they'll be able to get anywhere.
It's very interesting that Torbulance has decided to run the mirror into NA Runaway. This is the comp that NA Runaway decided was going to work for them, and it has been working for them. And I don't know if the answer is to play the mirror here.
Yeah. It almost looked like they have no faith in their ground fight, and their air fight is not going that well either because Essel was already down. It's going to be a tough ask, and now we're going to see if their high ground hold is as strong as NA Runaways was. Clack taking a little bit of damage there, but it will definitely be able to be healed back up behind those barriers. And now the payload's through the gate. No. This is where the real fight starts. Noro just gets off the higher ground, taken down. Emerin falls as a trade. But who would you rather have, your Orisa or your Pharah? The answer is obviously your Orisa. Essel, though, is trying to pull it back here. Takes a lot of damage, but Lure is there to just heal back up. As I say that, though, Honor obviously comes back in, just pops off, and it's only Green Havoc left. Looks like this payload's going to be steaming for a little bit.
The offensive spawns coming in huge for there, Honor coming back in, and now that was a lot of ults used, and now we're looking at the ult bank for NA Runaway, and they're looking to really keep this rolling all the way through B and have that massive time bank you were talking about going into C.
Yeah, you know, let's not curse it. Let's not say they're just yet, but there's a nice Gravitic Flux already. The High Noon comes out. The Pharmacy is down. No defense whatsoever here. Nora going down. This is just going to be point B captured. That's going to be a huge time bank. Yes, Snozzler gets that one kill in the Seraphina, but that's not going to net you a point defense here. It's only your Sigma, and he just chooses to go back inside where he belongs right now.
Naro swapping over to the ball, possibly thinking there was going to be some stall there. I'm not quite too sure about that. Well, swap back over to the Orisa, lose a little bit of that ult charge from there. And now with the barrage, if you can get a sneaky one here, keep this rolling. We're looking for a massive time bank now for NA Runaway.
Yeah, we really could, but this is the inside area where we talked about that could be huge. Essel does get stunned out of the barrage, and Emerin does get it off, but will just die and not get any purchase there. Essel takes another one to Lama Verde. It looks like this is going to be a hold for now, but still still a few ultimates coming up here for the side of NA Runaway, and not that much to work with on the defense for now.
Nothing to work with. They do have Coalescence to push themselves back in through this choke here on Eichenwald C. I'm interested that they're staying on the Pharmacy. It's a little weird here on Eichenwald C. In fact, both teams staying on the Pharah. Essel not even having a Mercy to pocket.
No, I really thought Essel might have gone back to spawn to switch over to the Doomfist, but it looks like they're just afraid of Honor or something. I don't really know what it is. I know, but I think on the attack it's a little bit better. On the defense you just get run over, but on the attack you can stay a little further back, throw a little more nades, and then you already see them pelting out. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage to that, and that ultimate can be so impactful. Honor, though, has his own ultimate, doesn't get the 1v1 with Snozzler, and actually throws down the ultimates and doesn't get any purchase out of that one. Snozzler just going to go back into it, going over the tanks, gonna run in, almost already had the Death Blossom, will die for it, and Honor gets rest back up, so they're turning the tables here. There's a huge Gravitic Flux once again, and they get all the kills out of it. They're just working with the tools they have and using them so well right now.
Nice little turnaround from them, though, but they did use a ton of ults, and all of Torbulance is coming up on theirs. Don't have anything to keep this snowball going, and I'm looking for this to stop right here. Unless an opening pick comes from the Junkrat.
Oh, they barely touch. Nosler does get the kill here, and Essel goes down as well, but it's not going to be enough because everything is just being killed on the side of NA Runaway. Emerin and Axic will probably get out. This is what I'm talking about, right? Emerin can just hold a little further back. We'll be fine. And now we're going to look at this tire. Is he going to get any value, or is he going to get destroyed?
What's killing this tire quickly?
I mean, a lot of things.
Maybe I'm looking at the Sigma primary fire is the quickest thing. It looks like
focus fire, right?
Yeah, it's got to be
it's focus fire. They just all look at it and shoot at it. It's probably going to be gone within a matter of seconds. So not even a second. It just disappears. Essel is on the Doomfist now. I thought that was going to happen, especially for that stall, and it's there now. But how much value will it get against Honor's McCree? Because that's been the tool that's been stopping, and Emerin gets the kill onto Snozzler. They get the tire kill on the Essel. You don't need to get much, but they already got 3 right now, and this is going to be a very rough hold right now. They're just going to have to go to stall mode because only the support's there. Who are they going to get? The High Noon is out. No one's going to get the point. Yes, Snozzler and Essel do make it. Would they get it with their Lucio? But Snozzler falls regardless to the High Noon. It was still being channeled. And that's going to be the completion. 2 minutes 48 will be there a lot of time because they get an extra 40 seconds or so. I think they got. And a minute on the other side, of course, because it gets filled up. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty decent time bank, especially seeing as how quick they went through the first parts of the map.
No, that is very good. Around 3-minute time bank is absolutely huge. It all depends on their defense here, and they were able to win the first fight here in a fairly slow one. So Turbulence is going to have to fix something here if they want any sort of progress with just a minute left.
We've seen the turnarounds happen. I mean, we've seen NA Runaway turn everything around in the last map and this one. So might as well happen for Turbulence again. Just turn it back the other way. They could end the series right here if they get a good attack out and then defend properly. But it's looking very good for NA Runaway to go for that potential reverse sweep right now.
Looking very good indeed. They will be sticking with that Farah McCree that has been doing so much work for them on this map. May not being the hottest of picks here, but the Farah filling in her shoes quite well. And it seems like Torbulence has decided on a comp that is not the mirror that they were struggling at, but instead will be the Doomfist Reaper.
Doomfist Reaper. I mean, it's they might see something on the defense and then think, you know what, let's just go for something else. Maybe they listened into the cast and figured that, you know, we figured it out for them. So this is the comp that was working for you. We're gonna see it happen. Honor and Emerin once again on the Farah McCree. And now they're just going to run in. They're going to try and run over the front line. And it's looking very good for them right now, getting a lot of damage and pushing those tanks back very hard. Now hiding a little bit inside. Don't want to take too much Farah poke when they don't have cooldowns. Essel getting a little bit of poke onto Lamavera. Not a lot of damage that sticks though. But Snozzler comes in from the side. Lamavera is already down. And Honor does get the kill onto Lure. But will that be enough? It doesn't look like it because they take down Axic and Honor on the side. Only the Farah, the Moira, and the Sigma left. And they're not going to be long for this world. What a nice adaptation from Turbulence.
Yes, this Doomfist Reaper looking for the fast fight so that consistent damage from the McCree and Farah can't work its magic. And now we are into the OT push on Eichenwald. It has to see where this ends, but it will be the ult advantage now for Turbulence.
And this is where they're not having that Lucio comes in. Emerin will have that barrage already, though. Clack close to the Gravitic Flux. This might actually be a more even fight than you think it is, because NA Runaway looks to have the ult advantage. Right now, they're coming in with those ultimates, being on the high ground. Lamafair actually holding very far forward. They're going to go for the combo again. No, they don't even need to. Emerin already takes down 5. Only Snozzler left and doesn't even make it to the cart. That is a devastating ultimate there.
That's the kind of thing, you look at your own ult charge, it's like, okay, we won the fight. Wow. Our DPS are at about 70% each. We should be good.
Yeah.
The barrage still comes in, not quite expecting that, not ready for it whatsoever, and that's going to be completely doable with 2:48 left on the clock.
I think you could have expected the barrage. I mean, you were basically ignoring the Farah for most of the first fight. So I think she was like the last to die as well. So at that point, you're really just... I would say, again, I think you should just expect the Farah to have the barrage there, especially with all that damage boost coming in. The Gravitic Flux would have been a bigger surprise, I feel, because that was still in the back pocket for Clack.
That is true.
And Well, I mean, it's still possible. I mean, they took the first point. That's already a pretty
Here it
good
is.
result.
Here it is.
Ooh, will it come out? I mean, we don't know if it will come out though.
I want it.
The
I want it so
Bastion is
bad.
out. It looks like it's out. They're not going to jump
It's
off the
out.
map.
It's out.
Out. And now the question is, are they expecting anything like that? Will Honor come out on the Symmetra as well? Like, there's a lot that could happen here that they're not ready for, and both teams might have to adapt on the fly to what the other team is running. And the better chance of adapting always comes from the attack, because they can just run back into spawn and swap before anything happens.
5, 4, 3.
You put your backs up against the wall. It's the classic.
Ooh.
Go Bastion.
Honor on the Widow. I think that's not going to stick, but we'll see.
No,
We'll see.
not at all. I'd be very surprised. Gonna back over to the Symmetra. Okay.
Yeah. I guess they just want to teleport in without taking any damage. They just want to have that same safe approach, and they're going to try and win the shield war, obviously. Just a lot of poke coming out from Emerin right now. Those shields are getting low, but there's so much shield. The charge is fast enough. It can just fire. They should be fine. They can just wait. They can just wait until they actually come before they fight them, because right now it's just poke happening, and they don't need to take the poke if they don't want to.
Yeah, get maybe that Sigma shield a little bit lower.
The teleport below them.
Yeah.
And now they're on the point. Oh, luckily Essel goes there to tell him, but there's 2 turrets aiming at him. He's going to have a little bit of trouble dealing with those. Actually manages to get out of that, but Honor and Emerin taking down Laura and Sirius. The res might come in on the someone. Nope, not happening this time around. That defense is broken and busted open.
Amazingly played by NA Runaway to get around that Bastion there, and they also have the ults coming up here, and this is going to be a miracle hold from Torbulance here. If this is going to happen.
Already throwing out those 3 turrets on the high ground there. This is almost draw potential, right? In the way that the card can just get there, because I don't think it rolled any further and it automatically does when it gets through that gate, but I'm not entirely sure. No. Right now, though, 1 minute 20. It's about 2 or 3 fights that they need to hold for here on the defense with that close respawn advantage for the attack. The barrage is there for Emerin. They're going to jump in behind them, get one. Might get more than one. No, it's only going to be the Bastion, but it doesn't matter because Seraphina just cleans it up. And that's going to be NA Runaway, bringing it back to a 2-2. We're going to map 5, people. I think that's the first one of the tournament.
Definitely is. And in a reverse sweep fashion, no less, is how this came about. All right, let's see another McCree Honor play of the game.
It's going to be. This time, actually, another ultimate. This time it is actually the ultimate, because last time it was just pure fire. This time he gets that first kill, then he gets a 1 or 2 more, and then they finish the map. So that's why you get those extra points. And right now, I mean, we're going to go to map 5. I don't really know what to say about this. It's just NA Runaway is just sweeping it back, and Torbulance seems to be out of tricks, almost.
This
Don't know.
This McCree was the answer all along. Just no answer for this.
Who knew? Just a gentleman cowboy with smoking a cigar is just the answer to all your problems. I never knew that.
What do you ban and what do you pick here?
I don't know. I barely know what's left in the pool at this point. I thought they already played all the maps. No, it's I mean, are we gonna see a 2CP map? That's gonna be the main question, because I think there's still one left.
There is Volskaya still left. We've got Volskaya left, Nepal left, and Gibraltar left.
That's hard. I think as good as Gibraltar can be for Reaper Doomfist, I don't think it's that great. The Gibraltar's one they'll probably keep open.
Probably ban out Volskaya? I don't know. Nepal can get kind of iffy.
Exactly. I think Nepal's one of those risky ones where do you want to risk it for the biscuit on a control map? It is the quintessential map 5 map, obviously. You have a good control map there, but you already played 2. They went 1-1. If you don't have a set strat for Nepal, then I guess you don't want to go there. But they ban out Gibraltar, yeah.
Not liking. I feel like you just say like I don't like McCree on that map, so we ban it.
Fair enough. I think it's too long range maybe. The Widow could get up, and I think Snazler did look a little bit better on that Widow. It's more like Dorado in that sense as well, the map. So that's probably why they don't want to go back there. So they're gonna go for Nepal.
I was gonna say Torbulance has banned 2 CP maps. I doubt they're going Volskaya. It's gonna be Koth to close it out. The classic 3 costs. Very
fair enough. And that is maybe as well why NA Runaway bans it out, right? Like they don't ban Volskaya because they know Torbulance will never take them there, or they figure.
They already banned two CPs. They're not going to pick the third one randomly.
Exactly. So then if you ban out the other map, so they basically NA Runaway had the ability to pick the map by banning out the like one of the two non-2CP maps, and then go to this one. So they wanted to go to Nepal, so they ban out Gibraltar because Torbulance is never going to pick Volskaya. Like that might have been a 900 IQ play, and maybe if they win the map, we can ask them about it. But for now, Nepal gonna be an interesting map. I think a lot of it will depend on which stage we get first.
Gonna have the
Village.
Have the one open. I mean, I could see the May or the Farah here from NA Runaway. I'm not quite sure what they're gonna run.
Yeah, Doomfist Reaper though pretty good on this map as well, especially once you get into those point fights, the close range combat. It's not as clear cut. They could do a very similar thing what they did on an Icon Vault first now. Just run into them.
It is possible, yeah. These 10 seconds can't go fast enough. These initial comps are going to mean so much in terms of the matchup because, like, do you prepare for the May or the Farah? Both you got to play very differently against, and even maybe pick differently against.
Farah right now for Emerin queued up, but they're going to maybe run Essel on that May, and with that Lucio, they'll have the speed advantage potentially, so they could just get in position to get a nice wall off. It's possible.
I mean, as NA Runaway here, you're not looking to go to point immediately. If Torbulance goes there immediately, you can let them have the first 10% or so. Just get that Farah and McCree poke in there, and eventually you're going to win out that fight against the May and Symmetra.
Normally, yes. I mean, maybe Snozzler's just using it to get out of spawn quicker? No, they're sticking with that Symmetra. That's going to happen right now. But both of these teams going through the low ground, and it's going to be like we thought. It's definitely going to be the first point positioning here. But Green Havoc already down to Emerin. That's not a great start if you are Turbulence. And a Runaway going to make a move on this one, and they definitely can. There's not a lot of healing left. Lure going down as well. That's no healing left, and that means that first point control is 100% going over to NA Runaway right now.
Don't even have to give up the percentage to get those picks in. Emerin's Rockets so very direct, getting all that maximum damage in with the Mercy boost and just picking off the support. The May wall comes up, goes back down, picks off another one.
You really see that both of these teams, they just have a prepared strat. That's what they're going with. It's going to be the Widow taking down Emerin straight away.
The Spawn Widow and swap back over to McCree. Just get the res out with it. All right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it also means that they give themselves a little bit more time and space to actually walk to the position where the McCree will get the value. So that's where they are there right now. Nice wall, that rock on the Honor. What a huge run from Sirius. They just taken down the pool into it as well. That means that there's no counter here for Essel right now besides the Emerin counter Farah. The barrage is so close though. Will be able to stall out long enough? Will the barrage get the value? Clack is definitely trying to get the value out of that Sigma right now. And Snozzler and Sirius just have to back up a bit. Essel going down though. Emerin getting 2. Gets the barrage. Emerin picking everything back up. We'll go down to Snozzler, but it doesn't matter because everything is going to wave NA Runaway right now.
That earlier coalescence from Serafina was absolutely massive. Able to keep the tanks alive as the tanks seem to have been standing against each other for like 8 seconds and no one quite going down. Coalescence swings that fight around along with the barrage and already 80% to another.
I was gonna say, I mean, did Serafina actually use a coalescence last fight? They're already, it's insane how quickly that ultimate charges. Right now though, gonna be seeing a high noon coming out from Honor. Gets Lure from that straight away because of a nice combo with another Gravitic Flux. Just gonna go back to spawn with that one because Green Havoc and Lure are your only sources of healing, and you do not want to lose those.
85%. They got to get to this point quickly.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time. They don't have Lucio's speed boost.
They will be able to get there in time. It's just a matter of how much HP they have to sacrifice to get there with this Farah raining down above them.
Ooh, Emerin go down to 1 HP. Will live here. Axic not even choosing to heal them back up. Emerin's still very low. There is the healing finally. but there's a gravitic flux coming out here for the side of Torbulance. Will they get a value out of that one? It doesn't look like they got any follow-up out of that, but Clack going decently low. Lamaver, yes, there they come. The kills from Green Havocs, Coalescence are there, and they do manage to flip the point here. Not going to be 100-0 on this one, but they have a long way to climb back up there.
That initial damage, as you pointed out on Emran, was so big. Just forcing Emran out of the fight, you're able to get the point safely because those rockets aren't coming in on you, and a Runaway not able to force their way back on the point. Takes too much damage trying to do so.
But it took so long to heal that up as well. I think it took like a solid, like almost 10 seconds before that was being healed up by their healers. I don't even know what Axis was doing at that point. Oh, the barrage gets countered by the Sigma shield. That is what you like to see. That's what we figured was going to happen when Sigma was released. Like, they just throw it in their face. Emran has got the barrage, gets stunned out, but will not get finished off. The barrage will get eaten mostly by by Clack. No, it's not Clack, it's Sirius, but it's not going to be enough. Noro is the only survivor and will go down as well. Sirius and Essel, yes, you're there, but you're not going to get any value out of that. Snozzler just uses the high noon and spawn, knows they're not going to be able to win that one. And that's the first control point going over here.
And a Runaway taking their first serious lead of the series.
And Torbulance, I mean, you just lost 2 maps in a row to them. Now you lose this stage. What's that doing to your heads? What's that doing to your mentality? Do you even think there's hope left in this world? I do think there's hope left in this world. I'd love to see us go to a 3rd control point here.
You do think there's hope left because it is going to the Sanctum. I do think the Doomfist Reaper here is possible
Could be good.
if they want to run it.
Could be good. Forest still be decently playable here.
I'd be shocked if they both kept Forest still on Sanctum. That seems very weird to me.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna happen though. There's a slight quicker spawn exit here for the side of Torbulance. Yeah, Hanzo doesn't need amount of spam. They just don't want to go with the McCree. I think what's happening is that they don't feel like they get enough clean value out of Snozzler on the McCree. They're like, if I can't counter the Pharah, generally speaking anyways, I might as well just play the Hanzo to do more spam damage on the tanks. So it's sort of a way to win the ground battle maybe, but right now, shooting at the shields, the early position on the point or around the point is taken by NA Runaway, so it's going to be on Torbulance to try and move into this one, and it's Emran taking a slight lead in that far ult percentage, but not enough. Essel going in deep, going in hard, but Emran gets the kill on a Sirius, and there's another pull onto Noro. This is it's looking brutal right now. I don't really know. It just everything they try just seems to go slightly better for NA Runaway.
The 2 environmental kills going around the outside there. You think that's the better position, but get on point safe. I don't have to worry about these enviro kills anymore. And a Runaway taking the first fight and already building up that control percentage to the reverse sweep.
I really hope Honor was going on the flank there. He didn't actually do it. He was posing to maybe go outside, but right now they're just setting up a little bit of range. Don't want to get in close. Don't want to get anywhere near the enemy team. Just want to spam them down from range. Clack taking a little bit of damage, but so does Noro. Sirius, and out on the D.Va. They just want to make sure that no one gets pulled off or gets killed by rockets, but Honor is still there with the bullets. Right now, Sirius has to do something on this D.Va. Lamaver does go down, and so does Snozzler. The res is already out. Seraphina falls, as does Green Havoc to the barrage. The High Noon of Honor not getting anything there, I think. And I thought it was slightly even on the point, and I still do have the fire there with the barrage, and that is a kill. Will the point flip though? Because Honor is just there against the Baby D.Va and a Mercy. This is going to be, it's going to be 65% by the time they're anywhere gets close to the point on the side of.
I can't believe NA Runaway won that, losing the Orisa to start that fight. That's incredible.
And now they have the Dragon, and maybe they can pull someone into it, but Essel finally goes over to that Doomfist. They have the Lucio. They're going to have to get close and personal, but Green Havoc's already down 80% already in counting. They have to make such a quick move to re-engage. The Taxi is going to come out from Lure, so they will be able to make it with 6. But how good is that engage going to be? They only have the Dragon still, maybe close to the Supercharger.
Into a Supercharger.
They have one of their own, though, almost. So it could be that they kind of be pretty even fight if they use it late. They're on the point though. That's the first part. They did make it. There's a dragon. Nice flank dragon. Gets Clack and Seraphina. That's as much as you can hope to get out of that one. Emery gets the kill in the Green Havoc, but they have lost too much. I don't think they can pull this one back. The points flip. Pharmacy drops into the abyss, finding Zenyatta's treasure. And they do manage to flip it, but again, such a large mountain to climb, and only now they flip the point.
Every fight is the potential series loss now and tournament exit for Torbulance. Got to win everyone from here on out for this map. They do have the supercharger that NA Runaway will have to run into, but nothing else quite yet. Maybe the Diva Bomb as well. The zone. Here they come.
Clack already down early. That's a good early pick. They're not gonna engage on this. They use a supercharger, lose a member, and then you're just gonna wait. Emerin has another barrage though, so they're gonna have to be careful about that one, but Emerin not really looking interested right now to use that just yet.
It is so hard to get in with a Pharah McCree as your DPS. You got to go in against the Storm Arrows and the Doomfist Punch.
Emerin's making it though. Might go for the barrage just here once you just pop on forward and get that out. But Sirius is looking ready for it. Nice Gravitic Flux. Where's the follow-up there? It doesn't look like it just now. The High Noon is a little bit late from Honor. But there's a self-destruct. Will they get the purchase? It will get two. So they trade out the kills. And right now it looks like Torbulance is still trading up and has the kills ready. Honor goes for Green Havoc on the point. Gets that kill off. Clack is res back up. But they don't have the members right now. Maybe they can get a quick re-engage because it does look like our respawns are back quick. But they lost a lot in that fight.
They did lose a lot in that fight. Moira and Orisa not quite back here. So that fight, the huge part about that fight is they're able to walk in onto point without getting constantly harassed here. Sirius very far up, getting
Why is
D-Mag.
Sirius there? Yeah, they just lose Sirius out of that. They do have a Sound Barrier and a Dragon and a Meteor Strike. Maybe they get a counter pick on that one. Who is going to get caught out by that? No one, it looks like. Right now, the barrage just comes out. Nothing there to carry it because Sirius was down. And that mistake might have cost them the map and the series. Sirius... that was a pretty brutal mistake to make there. Really out of position. Does touch the point here, but it's just a lonely Diva. Noro can't even get to the point. Lure tries to use a Sound Barrier to save their
That is a huge boop on Honor.
Ooh, it's big, but I mean, they still need more kills. They still need more members on the point here. It's too much. It is just too much. Schnauzer is back on the soldier, but just Essel on the point right now is Doomfist, and it's just gonna tick down. And
that's it.
So lose the series on a missed position like that. What was Series doing there? Still something we gotta ask ourselves. Wow.
I gotta believe there was some type of CC that blocked them from using the boosters. Maybe a good concussive blast. I wasn't quite there to see it.
You don't want to take that risk, right? Like the fact that they were that far forward in itself was already weird, even if you get stunned out. Oh well. You know what? I gotta hand it to them though. And a Runaway, the reverse sweep in the series. Huge. I mean, how many of us saw this coming after those first two maps? It was looking so good for Torbulance. And yes, then they win one on Busan. And you think like, you know what? It's control. Anything can happen there. But then they keep on going. They get Eichenwald. And now they get Nepal. Not even a stage one on Nepal. They could have gone to Shrine even. And maybe that would have gone in a different way. But I mean, such dominant showing for NA Runaway in the end there. It was... I'm sort of speechless almost.
Tried a bunch of comps, finally got one to stick and work on Busan and stuck with it. I mean, the one that worked on Busan was the Mei. They even showed that they could do the Pharah, so really the connecting line there being the McCree. Yeah,
I mean, the McCree showing up big. Like, Honor just tore them apart here. And, I mean, to be fair, though, Emerin came in with a lot of clutch barrages in the end as well. And it was looking very good for them. I don't really know what else to say. It was just amazing.
I'm speechless. That was amazingly done. Seeing the reverse sweep is always hype, and it pulled through.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, looks like we have Honor in. Hello, Honor. Congrats on that win, man.
Whew. Oh, that was a tight game.
I was gonna say, I mean, they had to do the reverse sweep, had to do it to him, but you did it to them. So you got a series win, not exiting the tournament just yet. I mean, what happened there?
It was mostly because we don't really have, the problem is in this meta, you kind of almost need two flex players, like a Doomfist and a Pharah player. And the problem is we don't have that. So we
Okay.
had M go Pharah, and then we just decided to throw me on McCree, and it seemed to work, so we kept doing it.
Yeah. And
Yep.
that's what we're alluding to as well. Sly was saying it before. He said, yeah, I mean, they just kept on trying different things, and at some point they found something that worked, and they just stuck on it. And I gotta hand it to you because it did work, and you won the series with it. Were you surprised that they sort of tried to start mirroring you instead of running their own style?
I think it was a big mistake to try to mirror our Pharah Kree because I feel like Snozzler, their hit scan player, he has a lot of like good hit scans, but I don't feel McCree is one of his strongest. Like he's really good at dueling like other DPS, but pressuring out of Pharah is definitely not his strong suit.
It's a very different story. I agree with you there. I mean, playing some hit scan myself, I know how it goes. It's not the same rank, so I'm not even gonna try and compare it properly. But yeah, I mean, so you have the reverse sweep going. Was there something going on in your comms like after map 2 where you're like, you know what, let's just try this because we don't really know what else to do now? Or like what exactly led to that decision? Because it must not be great to lose the first 2 maps.
Our comms were more like, okay, yeah, both these maps are really tight, we did really well, like just playing that comp, even though we're not good at it, we were doing pretty well at it. And we're just like, okay, we practiced this. We had like a backup, like the backup comp was the Pharah Kree, and the Doom Reaper wasn't working for us. So we're like, okay, well, we got nothing else. Let's throw this out there, and everyone played really good. A lot of good comms. Llama, our main tank, calmed his butt off. Wanted to say something else there, but yeah. And then we
okay.
We picked up M today. M is a really, really good flex player. We have Serafina or Nadi on support, and then Kiska, he's like an ult tracker / shot caller. Yeah, it just all kind of came together.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, and obviously it was the exact right time to have everything come together because you really couldn't afford anything to go wrong anymore, and it just Torbulance just seemed out of sorts at the end there. I mean, that's yeah. Because I mean, especially in that last one, that right there, you went into Nepal. You get to that Sanctum map, and then they're in a very good position to actually hold you guys off. And then just Sirius appears out of nowhere on the D.Va. Was there any? We didn't quite see what happened there. Did you like stun the D.Va out or something, or
what happened? So we forced the previous fight. We forced him out of his mech. So he was coming back with bomb. And our Clack, our Sigma player, just couldn't get the shield up in time.
Well, after that, on the very final
you
fight,
got the opening pick on Sirius there,
opening
and then
D-Mech there.
Oh yeah, I don't know what he was doing. He was left side. I think he was trying to scout or like go for a flank. I don't know what happened. I think he was sitting, the Winston spot where you sit top left, like on top of those shelves. He was up there, and he just, I believe he was up there. I was on the opposite side, and then we just called it and forced him out and killed him.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I mean, that's what happened, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a good scouting position, but I don't know why he was there for that long.
Okay.
Well, he got pulled out of the fly.
We might never find out because there's no one to ask, obviously, on that side. But yeah, no, it was definitely weird to us that it happened, but apparently to you too. So that makes 2 of us, or 3 of us for that matter.
I mean, we're not gonna, say anything. If they make a mistake, we're gonna punish it.
No, obviously, yeah. I mean, you have every right to do so. I mean, it's just a lot going on, to be honest. Sly, I'm gonna hand it over to you because I've asked the fun questions. Now it's time for the hard ones, I suppose.
Are you guys practiced against the Bastion? I was a little bit worried when that came out on the Eichenwald defense, but you guys handled that amazingly.
So, like, we as a team, I'm just going to be completely honest with you, we've been together for probably, I'd say, we've had our core for quite a long time, but our off-tank DPS, or flex DPS player have been kind of switched in and out. So we didn't have, like, the best coordination, but it seemed that me, M, and Kalak have some just excellent natural synergy. So when we went to go push in, our plan was to teleport underneath them. Their Baptiste dropped onto me when I was full charged on Sim, which is, I believe it's 195 DPS, so it's basically a kill every second on the squishies. So yeah, I don't think if their Baptiste would have dropped, I think they would have held that a lot longer, but I still think we would have won the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
like put that way.
do you have any what do you call the gravitic flux high noon combo?
We don't have a name for it.
Okay,
Okay.
we were trying to
Uh,
come up with something for that.
Electric Cowboy. I don't know. That's kind
I
of
mean,
like
that's the nano. That's the nano already,
Uh,
right?
what am
The
I
nano
thinking
Kree.
of? Let's think of. We could probably come up with a name with it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, the ones we came up with were kind of boring. Like I
should
think
just-
I said higher noon, and then because it's high noon but higher noon.
That's
then-
perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect, but it's a little bit easy, right?
Sky.
So.
Sky.
Oh,
Sky
that
Noon?
is fun. I think that's better. I think that's definitely better to Sky Noon.
I
'Cause
I can accept that one. I'll roll
Yeah.
with that.
Sure. Okay, we'll keep that one in the back pocket if we ever see it again.
We'll come up with a better name, and once we win, if we win next week, we'll do the
No,
interview. and
no,
we'll pitch it.
go back
Sure.
there. Once we win, get this
Yeah,
losers
once we
bracket
win,
run.
yeah.
Get this losers
Once
bracket
we
run.
win. Okay. Yeah, is already known who you're playing next?
Not positive.
No,
I think I
gonna
like our
be-
chances though.
We're gonna be waiting for the losers of winners
Oh,
bracket.
so it
for
would be
that one.
Citizens or Dismissed. I think that's the one we're looking at. So that's going to be played tomorrow, actually. So it's not long before you find out. That's actually
Yeah.
quite nice. Yeah.
We
a
haven't
little
been
bit
doing
of-
too much scouting. I did a little bit. I was watching the players' streams, but like in this meta, it's kind of hard to get a read on their DPS players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can imagine. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen them, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish you all of luck, obviously, with that one. Who did you have most trouble with dealing on the other team?
We had a little bit of trouble dealing with the Doomfist,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it was
Essel.
Essel,
yeah,
right?
Essel's
Yeah.
a really good player. Like
Okay.
we all going into that, like we kind of all had that in the back of our minds that Essel's a really good player, and if we shut him down and then shut down their hit scan player as well, we can kind of just let our DPS run a riot. So you'll get into like a situation where if I'm not popping off, M is popping off, and we just
Okay.
like no matter who they focus, they lose.
Yeah. Well, it seemed they did lose, so yeah, that definitely worked out for you guys. Well, before I let you go, we're obviously going to give you all the opportunity once to shout out anything you want, anyone you want. So go ahead and do that.
All right, yeah, I want to shout out my entire team. Would be Kiska, Serafina, M, Llama, and then Clack. Yeah, and then also I would like to thank Voltaja of Reunited for being a god at right-clicking with McCree. I learned how to do that from him. Not that there's much to learn, but if you guys are interested in checking out some insane McCree play from like an old school pro player, go check Voltage out. It's pretty insane.
Okay, we'll do that. Definitely. Yeah, thanks for that one. And obviously, then we're gonna let you go. Obviously, good luck with practicing everything else. You know, you're gonna have another match, not at the tournament yet. So good luck with the next one. And like you said, we will just see you after you win that one, right?
Yep. Damn
There we
straight.
go.
Okay. This one. Well, thanks for the talk, and hope to see you soon.
All right, am I good to go?
Yes,
yeah,
you are.
I think so.
Peace.
Okay. Well, great series, great interview. Is there anything else we can ask for? I think the only thing we can ask for really is for MVP polls, because
Yeah.
there's been one up, and I don't think we've been reminding you of it. That's on us.
We have
But-
been we've been ramped up in this reverse sweep. It was amazing.
Yeah,
to
it
see
was
happen.
definitely, and I think if you're wrapped up in the reverse sweep and you're like, oh, I definitely want to shout out the player, you're gonna look for that MVP poll. I'm sure you guys found it on your own. So all we need is the results, and as soon as we have those, we can literally just we can tell it to you, and we can show you everything
I mean,
about it.
who's your MVP? It's got.
It's so hard, right? I mean,
Is it?
I do want to say though. I mean, you could say that it's like either Honor or like Emerin, because they did a very good job on their DPS roles. But I do think there's also a lot to be said for Lama Ver getting a lot of credit for that as well. Because Clack as well, like the tank line was doing a fantastic job, and I think they were mostly winning out those tank duels. It was really like, yes, the DPS in the end sort of made the difference that matchup. But I do think that the tank line was just also a little bit up there over Turbulences. So once that DPS matchup was figured out, they just had that locked out as well. So it's hard to say that, yes, they were. I would say that Honor would be the MVP in my book, just the way they switched it around and the performance he had. But there's an argument to be made for others to may have got that gone that vote as well.
I would look at Serafina as well, doing a great
Yeah,
job keeping everyone else's
exactly.
coalescence for huge impact.
Yeah. So like I said, you can always just say like this player got it, that player got it.
It's
You
a
as
team
viewers
game.
though,
It's a team game.
yeah, you as viewers though, you always disagree with us because we just look at the winning team and then you all vote for the losing team's Doomfist. Essel, we've heard he's a great player. I'm sure you're well founded to get that vote. So Essel gets the MVP vote from you tonight. We chose other people, but it's good that we chose other people because that means that more people get the recognition, and that's what we're doing here. We're recognizing these teams and all these players, so they might get a trial somewhere. They might get noticed. They might. And I mean, at least they're getting a fun tournament to play in, and we get to cast games. So I don't know. I don't think there's any losers here. I mean, yeah, you lost the game, but you still got to play. Yeah, exactly. So I think with that, we can maybe bring it to a close, though. Before we do that, though, we could definitely say that we both, me and Sly, want to thank everything that's happening behind the scenes. The tournament that's being put up, it's amazing. Like, we don't have anything to do if there's no tournament where teams and players show up. Like, we're just here to talk about something that's already been happening. And, everyone behind the scenes, just Star Esports in general, give them a follow, give them a like, give them your money if you want to. And I mean, that's just all. It's not what it's all about. It's not about the money and the recognition, but it's just, without them, this is not happening, right? This tournament isn't here. These teams aren't playing. The players aren't playing. And that's what you should show most your support for. If, however, you have another like to give, maybe on Twitter, you could go over to Man of Class OW. I have a Twitter page, which I occasionally post stuff on. At least you'll be knowing what I'll do most of the time. I keep people updated on what I do, casting or otherwise. How's that for you, Sly? Can people find you anywhere?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well at Luigi_Sly. So if you same thing as Man in Class there, keep updates on where I'm going, what I'm doing in Overwatch, casting, coaching, whatever I may be doing at the time.
Yeah. I mean, and with that, I do think we have come to a close. It's been a long one, but it's been a good one. And if it's a good one, it's never too long. It's always great. I wish we could have another map. Why isn't the Best of 7 series? Could have had another few maps out of that one. Yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. So we're gonna bid you good night. We'll see you in the next one, and remember to tune in for the next one, because tomorrow we're gonna already see who's gonna be facing off against this beautiful team of NA Runaway. Is it going to be Dismissed? Is it going to be Citizens? There's going to be a match after that as well. So there's a lot of Overwatch to be had tomorrow again. And everyone here hopes to see you again there.